Hello, this is Keenan Park, and this is YLOC 7th grade worksheet lesson 2. For our first section, we have basic math problems, so we'll just be doing arithmetic, starting with addition and subtraction. So, for the first number, we have 6,321, and the second number we have 4,789. So this should be fairly simple. You add column by column, starting from the right. 1 plus 9 is equal to 10, so you carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 8 is equal to 11, you carry another 1. 1 plus 3 plus 7 is equal to 11 again, you carry another 1, and 1 plus 6 plus 4 is equal to 11 again, carrying another 1, which just drops down. So this gives us 11,110 for our first answer. And a similar process can be done from subtraction. So we start with 14,856, and we subtract 9,374. Start from the right as usual. 6 minus 4 is 2. 5 minus 7 is not, will give us a negative number. So we'll add a 10 from this 8, which goes to 7, and this becomes 15. 15 minus 7 is equal to 8. 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. 4 minus 9 is once again not possible, so we'll change this to 14. 14 minus 9 is equal to 5. So we end up with 5,482. Next we have 8,902 plus 5,624. Can add that the same way. 2 plus 4 is 6, 0 plus 2 is 2, 9 plus 6 is 15, carry the 1, 1 plus 8 plus 5 is 14, carry another 1. So I went kind of fast there, and that was by purpose. This is pretty simple math, so you should be able to do it very quickly. I'll skip the last one and just move on to the next section, which is the multiplication. So multiplication, you once again write the numbers on top of each other. So this is review, so it should be pretty easy. So 9 times 2 is 18. You carry the 1. 9 times 4 is 36. Plus 1 is 7, 37. Carry the 3. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. You carry the 1, and you drop it down. And on the next row, we have 20. So you start with the 0 because it's 20. It ends with the 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. And then you add these numbers together. 8, 7 plus 4 is 11. You carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 8 is 11 again. And 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. So you get 4,118. I'm going to skip the rest of these problems, because once again, they should just be review. Pretty easy. And then for our last section of arithmetic, we have division. So we have 1,092. And if you want to do long division, this is how you set it up, with the 36 on the left side. And then we'll ask ourselves, how many times does 36 fit into 10? The answer is 0 times. It doesn't fit at all. So we'll just move on to 109. How many times does 36 fit into 109? It fits 3 times into 109. So 3 times 36 is equal to 108. And if you subtract, you get 1, and you drop down the 2. So how many times does 36 fit into 12? Well, it fits into it 0 times. So this is going to leave us with some sort of fraction. So we'll move into the decimals place. We'll drop down the 0 here. And then how many times does 36 fit into 120? It once again fits 3 times. So if we subtract 108, it will give us 112. And by now it should be clear that we have some sort of repeating fraction. So this will give us 30.33 repeating. So 30.3 repeating. And for our next section, we have algebra and fractions. So for this first section, we'll be solving for x. on this first question, we have 4x plus 9 equals 29. And so our objective when we solve for x is to isolate the x. So what we'll do is first we will subtract 9 from both sides. So minus 9 minus 9, let's give us 4x equals 20, because 29 minus 9 is 20, and this cancels out. Then we'll divide by 4 on both sides, which gives us x equals 5. So our answer is x equals 5. I'll skip to the last one in this section for time's sake. 5x minus 6 equals 19. Add 6 to both sides this time. This will give us 5x equals 25. Divide both sides by 5. We get x equals 5. So the same answer by coincidence. And for our next section, we have simplifying fractions. So in this case, we're going to have a fraction like 36 over 48. And to simplify, we get rid of any common factors. So one way you could do this is you could write out the prime factorization, if that helps you. So the prime factorization of 36 would be 2 squared times 3 squared. And the prime factorization of 48, well, that would be, let's see, I believe 2 to the power 4 times 3. So you'd be able to cancel out the 2 to the 2 and part of this 2 to the 4 to get 2 to the 2 at the bottom, and you'll be able to cancel these out to get 3 at the top, and this will give you 3 over 4. Another way you could solve this, I'll do the same problem to make it easier to see the difference. 36 over 4, you could find 48, you could find their greatest common factor, and well, there's no exact way to find the greatest common factor unless you do the prime factorization like before, or we could just guess. So the greatest common factor is actually 12 here, but even if we guess wrong and say it's 6, we could just divide the top and the bottom by 6 to get 6 over 8, and then you'll see that they have another factor, which is 2, which will give us 3 over 4. So even if you don't get it in one shot, you can just do it in steps. And then we'll be performing operations with fractions, just addition in this case. 9 is, I think, easier than 10, so I'll be doing 10. So 7 over 9 minus 2 over 5. When you're dealing with addition, you want to make sure that they have a common denominator. So in this case, the greatest or the lowest common multiple of 9 and 5 is 45. So we're going to have to multiply this by 5, top and bottom. So 7 times 5 is 35, 9 times 5 is 45. And then this is going to be multiplied by 9 on the top and the bottom. 2 times 9 is 18, 9 times 5 is 45. And now we can combine into one fraction, 35 minus 18, which is equal to 17 over 45. So that's our final answer. And then for the last section, some word problems. James bought 5 packs of markers, each costing $3.20, and 2 notebooks, each costing $4.50. He paid with a $25 bill. How much change did he get back? So change is how much you pay minus how much you owed is your change, right? So in this case, how much we paid is $25. How much we owed, how much we owed is going to be the sum of all of these costs, which I'll put in parentheses, and then how much change he got back is what we're trying to find. So in parentheses, he has 5 packs of markers, and each costs $3.20, so we multiply those. Same with the 2 notebooks, we multiply that by the $4.50 each one costs. And this will give us our answer. So 5 times 320, that gives us 16. And 2 times 450 gives us 9. So you add them together and you actually get 25. So 25 minus 25, well, that's just 0. So he gets no change back. I'll skip this second word problem and just move on to the third one. In a class of 30 students, 40% are boys. How many girls are in the class? Well, if 40% are boys, then by there are 100% in total, so you can figure out that there are 60% are girls. So 60% of 30, well, 60% is equal to 0.60. So you could just multiply these. 30 times 0.60, and that will give us 18. So there are 18 girls. Alright, that's all for today, and thank you for listening.